Hey guys, this is GamerCal. We are playing Touhou, the Genius of Sephiroth. Last time we killed pretty much every enemy in the Sea of Clouds, and we got one of the items I really wanted, the Makai Ring. Didn't really get the other stuff, but it's less essential. It's just, upgrades to what we have already, stuff like the New Moon Shield being an upgrade to the Magic Midweight Shield and all of that stuff. Nothing too special, so this time we're gonna progress and fight a boss. So I think we are going to cover the team comp first this time, because it's not too dissimilar to what we used during the stage, to be honest. Just a couple of changes, and really only one change actually, and that is Moko as the commander, and Byakuren's now in the main party instead of Notori. So yeah, let's just cover what we have. So Patchouli not actually using the shield. It really doesn't matter because Patchouli can't even use a shield thanks to the staff anyway. That is the one thing that books have. Her books have over any staff weapons. They're a bit weaker and they don't have the element stuff, but they do let you use shields. So maybe that's something to consider. But I think the rune staff with its 20 MP extra is nice here. I don't think it actually matters what you use in this fight, but yeah, she has some death resistance and quick status resistance on the pocket watch there. I don't think they stack too well, but just in case. That's basically what Patchouli has here. I mean, she could maybe do with some physical defense stuff, but honestly she's going to get covered by Alice most of the time, so that's fine. Byakuren has the DVD-ROM for magic defending and some electric resistance, because you can imagine we have been fighting electric enemies this entire time. The boss is going to be an electric base, so it's pretty obvious who we're going to fight, but just in case people don't know Touhou as much, we shall hold off on that. She has induction and speed otherwise, because induction, as far as I'm aware, does actually affect buff skills. Skills do seem to get stronger buff-wise when you have induction boosted. And speed is kind of important because I don't have enough points to invest heavily into the casting tree yet, so her cooldowns and stuff are kind of abysmal. It's not even just the cooldowns and the casting speed are nowhere near as good as they could be, so we're basically giving her extra natural speed to try and compensate for that. For Yomu is using some electric resistance, some death resistance, and some physical attack. That's pretty much all she needs. She is using what is normally Alice's shield, the Ruby Shield actually, because Alice has a very special atmospheric shield. Because again, electric, kind of obvious to resist against, so that's what we're going to do. She also has +1 bomb, because Little Legion is really good for this fight. Ideally I wanted Reimu in this team as well for added insurance, but I couldn't fit Reimu in, so we're just going to have to rely on other stuff for that. Otherwise, she's just using good defensive stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much all I need there. And then Satori is raising electric resistance by her by her Stormhead amulet here. Obviously I don't need the electric enhance, but she doesn't lose any meaningful resistance from it, so that's fine. Extra HP and stun resistance, whereas Alice actually has the electric runestone for complete prevention of shock, and we'll see why in a bit. Yomu could have actually used the Yokai Mail if I didn't make her specific armor here, but her armor's been really good, so I do not regret that at all. Skill-wise, let's go over that first. Because we are obviously going to be fighting an electrically based enemy, it makes sense to load up Patchouli with earth-based skills. This is one reason to use Patchouli over someone like Marissa here, because Marissa doesn't have any earth skills, and Patchouli is fantastic at manipulating land. So she can just basically turn the land to any direction she wants when it comes to core elements, and that's really powerful. So yeah, that's exactly what she's doing here. Honestly, I could ditch Earthen Spear and have something else here, but I don't actually have the skill that I would want yet. There's a skill that Patchouli gets later on, which basically just means that attacks have more effect on the land, and she doesn't have it right now, so I can't really use that as much as I would want to, because honestly this and this are completely pointless. This is basically pointless, but I might still use it if because of weakness and stuff, but yeah. Byakuren, I wanted to fit Dark Sphere in here, but in my one test game that I've done with this setup, I tried a couple of different setups actually, and this is the most consistent. I could win with my other setup, but this one's just faster, so we're running with this. But that's not the point. Byakuren, I wanted to fit Dark Sphere in here because the boss is actually weak against Dark as well, but I don't have space, and I didn't have time to use Dark Sphere when I played as in my test stuff here. So Byakuren's going to be buffing everyone all the time. That's pretty much what she does. Pivot Resist might actually be important here because resistance on the characters that don't have any defense against shock will potentially come into play. Might not, but it depends on how, you know, the boss feels. And then Yomu set up for Manusa. Slash of Eternity is amazing, so definitely make use of that. And otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much what Yomu's for, just her strong single target stuff. And Satori set up mostly for Earth-based and Dark, because like I said, Dark is a weakness here. I'm probably not actually going to use Dark this time though. I used it in the test run and the land was not going quite as well as I hoped it would, so we'll probably just use Earth attacks. Even though Dark is actually a weakness, I want to point out that it is a weakness, but also that we're unlikely to use it too often. If Satori takes too much damage, then I will consider using it, but she has a pretty good shield for most of the attacks that will be coming across here. So I don't think she'll be taking too many heavy hits here. I might be wrong, we'll see. And then Alice, mostly the same as usual, but most of the time she's just going to be using Marionette actually on the back row. But Little Legion is obviously important. I might consider Artful Enchanter, but I don't think I'll be using it anymore because I don't have Reimu in the party now. I would use this if I had Reimu to cover the vulnerabilities in the meantime, but I don't, so this probably won't get used. But it's a worthwhile consideration, you know, it's a pretty neat skill, but I don't think it's worthwhile here at this stage. And that's pretty much it. Growth-wise, nothing too out of the ordinary here. I don't have enough points to get empowered spells, which means that my spell card damage is not as good as my non-spells. So we won't be using Trilithon Shake, I don't think. But I can still get crits with my magic, casting speed is quite high, cooldowns are nice so I can use Diamond Cutter every turn, and lots of MP, basically everything that I can get. If Electric somehow becomes the best land element, then at least Patchouli can defend against that, but it won't, so that's fine. Byakuren set up the same way as in general stuff, you know, Amplify and Scroll is good, although again in my test play I didn't actually get to use it. It's still good for the auto heal and everything in this tree, so there's that. An extra bomb is completely unnecessary actually. I could put those points into something else, like extra resistance here. Because that's, yeah, the extra bomb is absolutely unnecessary for Byakuren right now, because she isn't using bomb skills. And otherwise just some status enhancing, and that is that. I could actually use those 2 points to get effect durations to overwrite, but again, this battle shouldn't last long enough for that to matter, so that'll be fine. Yomu just switched everything from Azura to Manusa, had a couple extra points, so we've put them into the Half Ghost tree at the moment so that she gets a little bit extra HP and MP, because the accuracy is unnecessary. Yomu's accuracy is high enough with Manusa as is, so I don't actually need plus 30 instead of plus 20 here. 10 accuracy, less important than 10% HP, MP, and a non-card speed increase. Satori running max learning because there is a skill she can learn. Like I said, in this fight there's a couple of skills, one which I definitely would prefer, but both skills are very good, so that's why Satori is here. Otherwise, Satori really isn't the best for this fight, it's just learning is kind of a thing. Debuffs are not particularly useful, but I want to try anyway because I'm weird like that, so because I don't have enough points to put more into Third Eye, we're just gonna have a couple of variety points here, in case I try and use Soften. Probably won't, because it hasn't worked in my test stuff. Excuse me. But maybe if I get time to Induction Buffer, I can try and Defense down. Who knows. And then Alice, the Artful Enchanter duration stuff is potentially useful, probably not, but regardless, there's not really anywhere else that these points would do good in, because I could only get 1 extra point here. 15 physical defense in this fight is not really important, and yeah, I wouldn't have anywhere else to put the points, so they may as well go into this tree. Then Moko bombs. You know how Moko plays when she is the commander. She also, of course, has the experience increasing things, so yeah, that is pretty much it. So, I think the way this is gonna go is I really want one skill in particular from this fight out of the 2 which can be learned. So if I get the wrong skill, then I think what I'm gonna do is I'll complete the fight, but I'll reset like straight after, and I'll get the skill which I want, and as soon as that happens we can proceed. So let's get started. So regardless, you'll see a complete fight first with Iku. Yep, no surprises there, I guess. Technically this is part of the canon, it's just a spin-off series, if you will, like 10.5 fighting series. It's not one of the main games, so yeah, this is the final area we need to go through. I mean, we've already spoken about Suika from 7.5, obviously, so yeah. Also, she doesn't have her own particular place. Iku, also kinda cute in this game, as pretty much everyone is, but hey. Aww. Yeah, slacking off. Well, not really, she's off duty, so she doesn't have to worry too much with that. But unfortunately, well, Fortress is not really how I would put it, but yeah, Iku doesn't really get too many visitors. We don't really have any business with you. We have business with Tenchi. So yeah, we need to just get going, right? Yeah, Bavagra is exactly where we're going. I can never say that properly, like, it's such a weird thing. But yeah, we need to get through, so not a place a living should go through. Maybe not, but we do it all the time anyway, right? So, well, Marissa does. What, you gonna stop us? Nope, Iku's not really here to stop us at all. At least in her eyes. Why? Because we're gonna punish Tenchi, that's why. Because Tenchi's surely behind the incident. That's it. Yeah, the turmoil at the surface. Eldest daughter. Uh-oh, you probably shouldn't say that in a group like this. Tenchi's underling. That's not exactly how it went, Reimu. But Iku's like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, Iku doesn't actually have any relation with Tenchi, really. No, I personally, I don't either, let's be honest. Ouch! So, Iku is not classified as a greater yokai that's immune to Satori's powers? Oh, of course Aya would note that down. What we're about to say, yeah, she has actually been interested, because she's bored, as always. Uh-oh. Iku kind of knows. No connection at all. Yep. And now Iku finally knows, yep, Satori can read your mind. It is kind of unfair, yeah. Gotta admit, as much as I pity Satori in general, I would, like everybody else, absolutely hate being around her. Yeah. So basically we want to go see Tenchi. So we need to proceed. Oh, I think I know where this is going. This might not be good. Well... Marissa, don't you go up there according to your own, like, thing in this game? Don't you actually go up with that? So I just noticed the heart on Satori's shoe. That's actually really adorable. I know it's like 3 pixels, basically, but that's actually really cute. I didn't know that. Uh-oh. Oh no. Don't try and rope her into this. I mean, Iku's off duty, right? Knowledgeable about heaven, yeah, but we're not... Yeah, Iku is not going with us. Look at the situation here. Yeah. No. But I want to rest. No you weren't. Uh-oh. I don't think that's something you should have said. I know what atmosphere you're referring to, but that's not what you should have said. Do you remember what Iku is meant to be? She is meant to be a messenger for the Dragon Palace. She literally spends her time in the clouds. Yeah. And so basically Reimu has just said, you can't do your job at all. Yeah, there are professionals for that. Yeah, weathermen and women, obviously. So yeah, pretty much the absolute worst thing that Reimu could have said. What are you getting so angry? Well, let's just equivalent wise of saying that you can't solve instants, which is actually kind of true, but still, no more excuses. Strongest halberd show. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. And Notori's like, oh ho, there's a drill involved. I'm getting involved in this now. Because there are now drills. Yeah, she has a spinning drill on her arm. That's actually that must be painful, actually, with the forces that would be going off her arms. Adding fuel to the fire. I wonder why. So yeah, Notori was originally in this party, but she's not now. So that's too bad. But yeah, we're gonna have to just fight because that's what happens when you are an idiot like Reimu, and yeah. So Disco Iku to the rescue, of course, using her pose from that one thing in well, a lot of her things actually in Scarlet Weather Rhapsody. So ideally, like I said before, I would have wanted Reimu in this party, but I didn't have space without removing Satori, who I want for learning skills. So, this fight, it's not overly difficult, but it can take a while if you don't have good buffs and stuff going. So, keep that in mind. The reason I have Earthquake here is because Earthquake actually has a larger effect on the land because it's multi-target, but it is a weaker skill, so we probably won't use it too often, but yeah. For this first turn here, I am going to Element Weapon for Earth onto Yomu and set up Manyusa. We need to set up cluster moves so we have the field spell to raise our Earth damage and cut her electric damage. And you absolutely must Little Legion this first turn, because this first turn, like a lot of bosses here, Iku has a couple of skills that she always uses on that first turn, and she's very quick at doing so as well. So because I did absolutely nothing there, let me explain how that actually works. So static guided bullets, or whatever the static electric stuff is, that is a multi-target move that will attempt to inflict shock on your party, and it does so quite often as well. It's really annoying. And then anybody who has been affected by shock will be instant killed by her second attack. It doesn't do anything if you haven't been shocked, but if you have been, then it insta kills and it ignores like half of your death resistance or something as well. So charms and stuff like that for it really don't do a whole lot. So you need to defend against that turn 1. That much is absolutely guaranteed. If you don't defend against that first turn, you are probably going to die. So make sure that you do. I want to use Byakuren's last word because we actually haven't used it yet on a battle, and we'll use it next turn, I think. But yeah, active elemental. We'll do this turn so we can fully charge Earthland here. And Alice is basically just going to defend the back row. Satori is actually okay at the front. As much as it seems like she wouldn't be, she has a defense against electric shield, and she has really good electric resistance. The only way Satori's going down is if she gets vanilla attacked twice in the same turn. But even then, I have Moko as my commander, so she can get revived again. So yeah, Yomu already does a lot of damage with her stuff there, and that's the attack I want, and we got it. Perfect, I don't have to do any more with this. Mad Thunder is the main reason Satori's out at the front, because, to explain how this one works, Mad Thunder is an attack that hits 3 times. It's the reason I want it is because it's a non-spell, whereas the other attack that you can learn in this is actually a spell card for Satori. It's a multi-target move that can inflict shock. Thunderclap is the name of it. We should probably see it at some point during the fight. But Mad Thunder is... it hits 3 times, and it doesn't always hit the same character. It just did because Satori's got such a high chance of being targeted compared to everyone else. So yeah, let's actually just explain this before I go further. Flying Fantastica, it increases everybody's experience and drop rate. Unfortunately, the drop rate part is only applied to enemies which are still alive, so the drop rate part is kinda hard to use, but the experience bit is really good, and it stacks with your accessories that give experience, so that's going to be really good for that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Now, Iku can use that static bullet and Elekiter Dragon Palace move every turn, every other turn, potentially. She can use it on... She always does it on the first turn, then she can use it on any of the 3rd, 4th or 5th turns. She will always use it on the 5th turn, I believe. It's either the 5th or the 6th turn. She will always use it if she hasn't used it before then. But we're going to Little Legion just in case she decides to spam it here, and she did, so that's good. So how much are we going to get from Flying Fantastica? We are going to get 180, that's good, nice. So 180% more experience. Now, Alice is immune to shock, because I gave her the accessory for that. Also, 2 crits out of that, and a double cast, oh god! That's a ton of damage coming out from Yomu there. This is why Yomu is so good when you give her the appropriate buffs and stuff. Earthland is basically maxed, so... I think Iku has about 770 something regen in Lightning Land, so you definitely want Patchouli here. Unfortunately, my spells have a bit of a big cooldown here, so... That's the one disadvantage at the moment. Later on, we'll be able to reduce the cooldown of this by 1, so I can use it every 2nd turn, but look how much damage I did in that last turn. Like, Iku's already 3/4 dead as it is. And because she used the static guide shock last turn, she won't use it this turn. So that is good. And another crit for almost 3,000 damage. We might actually end this fight right here. Obviously you can see the power of the land here, because Earth Element is basically maxed, so her Thunder damage is nothing. Absolutely nothing at this point, and she is effectively dead. We'll Little Legion this turn anyway, and we'll just perfect resist on Yomu, so that she shouldn't get shot killed if that does happen. But I don't think it will, because I think Iku's gonna die this turn, so we shouldn't have another turn to play here. That double cast on Yomu really increased his fight. Wow, she is spamming that this time. She doesn't usually spam that so much. Anyway, yeah, Thunderclap, the skill that we didn't see, we are going to see it later on in the game. It's a multi-target move that inflicts shock, or tries to inflict shock on everything, and shock is really good at stopping physical attacks from going through. So, yeah, that's a thing. And you see just how much experience we got from that because of the Flying Fantastica from Byakuren. Absolutely amazing skill. But yeah, Thunderclap is really good, but it takes a bomb. Whereas Mad Thunder is a very good, very good lightning move, which if you don't get it just now, I don't think you get another chance to get it until post-game. You might get it from another boss at some point, but I don't remember any bosses that give it. So it's extremely valuable to get it just now. I think Thunderclap is a move that you can get later, but maybe only in favourable conditions from a much later stage. But yes, we got Mad Thunder. That is the skill which I will very much enjoy having this skill now. I haven't ever had this skill until way late into post-game before, so I'll be interested to see just how good it is for the main game. But with this and stuff like Sunburst, Acid Storm, and I get it, it's going to be really good. We also get Dark Sword for Byakuren, which would have been nice for this fight actually, but it's fine. We'll get it to good use later. Yomu gets a good level, and Patchouli gets Thunderstorm. Kind of fitting considering we've just survived one. Alice also gets a level, Moko gets a level, that's good, and yeah, that is that fight. Ow, indeed. That took way too much effort. Well, it was easier than it could have been because she just decided, hey, I'm gonna static shot and try to insta-kill you every second turn, and actually defended against that. So, if you want to be safer in that fight and you don't want to try and learn Mad Thunder or Thunderclap, then switch Satori for Reimu, and use Reimu's omnidirectional, the evil ceiling circle, for blocking quick status. Supposed to be off duty, and yeah, well, yeah. Reimu did kind of start it, but Iku definitely pushed it, I think. But yeah, she's gonna just faint on this. She was quite strong. I tried actually initially because one of my Twitch one of my friends has decided, hey, you know what? I want you to do a boss with the Cherno formation, the Circle 9 form. And I initially wanted to do it with this boss because this boss is traditionally not the hardest once you know her tricks. But I wasn't getting enough damage output. I couldn't really do it conceivably, and I also thought, well, Mad Thunder, you know, I need to try and learn that, so yeah. Yep, our guide is completely out. Byakuren's sigh face right there. Yeah, so basically shut up. Yep. Oh, I'm sure there was. You could have just not told her that she couldn't read the atmosphere. You're more than enough. I don't know about that. Sure. Yep, as Marissa is pointing out there. Hasn't really worked so far. So, that is stage 13. On to stage 14, Baba Agra proper. We are now all the way up into the sky. Like, we've gone up the mountains and into the sky, and Aya is like, yo, so many pictures to take. So yeah, she's happily taking all the pictures of everywhere. The final destination. This is truly the final area of the game, right? We have to just beat up Tenchi, she stops the incident, and we're done, right? The end is in sight. Yeah, the game actually does kind of put that sort of show on, right? But yeah, let's go find an idiot, put an end to this. It is actually probably really pretty up here. She's so happy to be up here. Oh, trust me, Sanae, you're gonna have a lot of use in the next stage. Shangri-La indeed. Yeah, well, you wouldn't have if you didn't come with us. Yeah, I would say so. Wandering Spirits here, final goal for Hermits. Yeah. Oh man, that face. Well, yeah, of course there's not, Notori. You'd get so bored. Well, I guess you could make machines and stuff. Can't we do that as well as toss Tenchi in? Yeah, okay, whatever. Yes, it is indeed getting more violent. But yeah, we get it. So let's just go take Tenchi down. But we're gonna do that next time, obviously. So we have to pass through this part every time if we want, and of course you can talk to Iku, but we haven't fulfilled conditions to properly gain stuff from Iku yet. But that'll be done at a later time. So, with that said, this has been Gamer Cal playing Touhou, the Genius of Sapphires, and next time, oh god, next time, if you thought we'd had enough annoying stuff here, get ready for a very tough stage. And this one I actually don't remember too much of how to go through, because every time I go through this stage, even when I fully finished it and everything, I still forget how to get through this stage. But that's not necessarily why it's annoying. We'll find that out next time. Take care.